ProductiveBot do is develop things for their business. But not everything. I mean, you guys can think about your health and a lot of that data that you can also automate and optimize. But as you guys think about how you guys get the word out, obviously there's a lot of businesses out there. You guys have to compete and get the word out and kind of cut through the noise. Rod, I'm going to mute you right now. I'm just getting some feedback from time to time, but go ahead and unmute yourself, or go ahead and mute yourself whenever you get a chance. So essentially what happened was I was watching some videos about how to create short form content, which has been what has led to a lot of the success that we've had. But doing that consistently and in a way that's going to get a lot of organic traffic is not necessarily easy or trivial. And so what you can do is you can find people that are already doing this at a very high level and replicate what they do. And I know some of you guys have already been working with short form content and doing that. And so what I did is I found a particular interview that resonated with me in terms of their approach and strategy, and my background in marketing allowed me to sort of validate what they were saying, and their performance, and I've seen them around already, validates what they're doing. That what I had my agent do is, and you guys can follow this exact process, is give your agents specifically if you have the more frontier models like the ChatGPT 5.5s or Opuses. Not all models will do this, so in case it doesn't work, that's why. Just try. I know for sure the new models will work, but you can essentially give it a YouTube video link, just the link, and it will go to that link and it'll get the transcript from that video, no matter what the video is. In this situation, it was a 2-hour-long video. Now, what happened is that I wanted a specific task to be done. I wanted to extract the value from that 2-hour video, and then I wanted to create a process based on what she was saying. And then thirdly, I wanted to apply that process to ProductiveBot and how we do content. So it's 3 layers. The reason this is different than other things is because our bot understands us and our business. So as it applies things from the video to our business, the level of depth that it can pull from is very high, meaning that the level of sort of integration with what we've done and why at ProductiveBot in this example would have taken certainly a long time, a lot of mental units to really consider and think through. And so what's really great is that is sort of, I think, what the magic is, and why this is not just another AI tool or agent, or sorry, chat box or whatever, is that it right away integrates and applies this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to show you the video. I'm not going to actually play it. I'm going to show you kind of what it is. I'm going to show you the document that it put together for me. I'm going to share this document. If you guys want access to it, you guys can have this. And then I'm going to show you the tool. So what happened afterwards is that document was phenomenal. But I said, hey, I think I need another step here. And I'll show you guys once I get the document what that missing step was. But, I wanted to build a tool to help me do what the document said. And then so I had 2 agents work on this overnight. I woke up and I had this really cool tool. So going forward, I have now essentially my own content machine tool to help me with some of the most tedious and not necessary steps of short video form creation. And that essentially opens up my time and mental units to be focused on what's creative, what's strategic, what's unique, how do I truly apply this. It kind of gets into the 80-yard line. And as you guys may know, whenever you do certain projects, sometimes the last 10% of the project takes 50% of the time. The last 10%, the last 5% can be really tedious because you're kind of polishing everything up. And I think that in this age, and what we're seeing is that's where this could never do that, right? I mean, if you try, it's going to end up being, it's going to be, I think you'll get, slop in terms of like compared to something that's polished by a human. I still think we need our own X factor when it comes to this. So, so I'm very excited. And again, I'm going to release this tool as well to the community. I probably will eventually charge for it, but I'm not going to do it anytime soon. But it's kind of a cool thing that you guys get. So I'm going to pull up a few screens here and get these ready. Okay. So these screens, whatever. All right. So I guess I'll just do that for now. All right. So this is the video. So this gal, she's 20 years old, and her business already makes, according to her, about $700,000 a month, not a year. And so she here is talking about her business and how she does a lot of really cool things. So you can see here all the things that she's talking about, right? And what I had my bot do was, again, generate context and a process from this. So I'm going to walk you guys through this document. It's a pretty lengthy document. It's 22 pages. So I am going to skip around, but I do encourage you guys to jump in at any point to ask me about any of this. And again, I'm going to share this document with you guys. So if you need it, just I'll post it in I'll post it in the community as a PDF. So the document didn't come out this clean in the first place. I had my bot clean it up. So formatting in Google Docs does take a little bit of work. I'm going to show you guys some of like the minor steps. So it's not like, oh, I pushed a button and everything was done. I'm going to still kind of walk you guys through some of the minor things. So I have two agents, right? I have the OpenClaw agent, and then I have a Hermes agent. And I like having both because they're two different systems. They both work great, and they can kind of work with each other. And if one's ever down for some reason, and they don't really go down often, the other one can take over. They can both use different models. And obviously for me, it helps me stay up to speed with what's working and what's not. Again, they both work really great, done and how. And then it's context from the Ava interview. So here you see kind of the core takeaway. Don't start with random ideas. Start with research. Find proven outliers in your niche. Extract those hooks, topics, formats, and add your own original expertise as the value. So I love how this just kind of breaks down what she's doing, different tools, give the value immediately after the hook. Like anything, if you guys watch the video, I think it's worth it because you kind of get a deeper level of understanding. If you don't, then you just kind of get the highlights. So it's kind of up to you. This was nice because you don't remember all the highlights after you're done. And then it gets into the productive bot opportunity, the productive bot positioning for the content, the core content thesis of what we do here at Productive Bot, right? And this is kind of where you're going to see it sprinkle in a lot of the things that it already knew about us, which is really nice and a major time saver. So then it gets into productive advantages to repeatedly show, product advantages to repeatedly show. So here it talks about things that you guys may be aware of for our ecosystem. And I'm not seeing who's on here. Okay. And then here's a cool part. It shows her research method, and then it applies it to us. So here's the original, and then here's the productive bot version. Let me zoom in just for you guys. Then we get into the 555 research rule, which you see here. The outlier scoring, so you kind of see 3x above creator media, like different things that she said. It also found target niches for us, so priority niches here, and they were very good. These were pretty much spot on what we do on the different niches. Now, the reason we do these niches, guys, and because you haven't got a chance to learn all this, is because you're going to find what works for others in your space, and you're going to replicate that, right? And then add your own spin. So that's what this is doing. It's saying these are the different niches that you can then search on all these platforms. You find that content, and that would be time consuming, right? If you had to do that every single time. So this is what it's trying to kind of do for us. It's kind of helping us kind of create this system. And why adjacent niches matter. And then it talks about creating a database. So this is where I specifically gave it a prompt, highlight the video, and then show me how to apply this information. That's not something that your bot's just going to do for you. And that's what your thoughtfulness and kind of learning how to use this tool, that's kind of where it really helps you, right? And so that's what came out of this, is it came out with some sort of profile database. So these are the profiles that talk about racing or AI or whatever, or construction or roofing. And it can save all those profile IDs, what platform, etc. And then it's going to create a database of all the videos that worked. So you get the point. There's so many really cool things. There's a whole nother thing on patterns that it's recognizing, on how we adapted to ours. You get the point. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Now, because this is a kind of a bigger document, I'm going to go a little bit faster, and you guys can kind of take your time and look into this later. But it has a collection strategy for those different platforms, kind of the different metrics we want to look at. And then it kind of goes now past the kind of creating this structure of how we keep the content, and it gets into the content pillars, right? What are our big content pillars that we would want to talk about? And it's really nice because it has example hooks. Hooks are kind of the first 3 seconds of any video you see on social media. The better the first 3 seconds, the like hooks. Then we get into script principles from the interview. So she talks about some principles there. She talks about we have a first priority video, right? So what's the first thing we need to create? And here's just a lot of different things. Editing notes. There's a really cool tool for DM strategies. So I don't want to get into that right now. Free resource ideas. And then agent workflow from research to script, because that was kind of the big kind of time sink, was researching all of these top performing content points and then creating scripts. After that, I can really take over. Again, I have a background in marketing, and so it kind of helps obviously take it from there. So here you can see all the really cool generate scripts off of this. And then we have a script template. We have a publishing and analytics loop, weekly analytics report, and then immediate next steps. So, I mean, when you've tried to do these types of things over time, I've never seen anything like, I mean, it just blows me away. And you'd think I'd be like used to this, but I was just so blown away because this is so helpful. A lot of times as business owners, a lot of our time is spent translating or transferring information between humans, right? And I think the same happens with AI. Transferring information from your brain to your agent is such a time sink. And so when you can just, it's already, it's like everything is already transferred, all that information, then you can just launch so many things so quickly off of it. And also transfer information to your team members, because we have Rebecca, who's part of our marketing team at ProductiveBot. And so I can give this to her, and I did. And she's like, wow, this is so helpful, because kind of gives her kind of a way of thinking about it. Okay, so now that I have this, we started with the video, and now we have literally a really good game plan, right? I still wanted something to kind of do it for me, and I then gave this game plan to my team, my agent team, because I have 2 agents in a shared Slack channel. Okay, and I gave this to my team, and then I told them to work on it overnight. I gave them 30-minute check-ins. There are people, as you guys saw in a recent post that I did in our school community, there are people out there that take this really, really far in terms of having agents work with each other. But for me, I didn't want to, I'm not there necessarily yet, nor do I know how good those things actually are. But I definitely know that this works. And I'm just at 2 agents. I've gone up to like 4 agents, but at a certain point, it gets kind of hard to keep track of what agent does what. So I gave this to 2 agents because they can then check on each other and whatever else. So I said, hey, one of you agents develops this, the other one, like they both kind of knew what had happened. And then I told them work overnight. And so they built it overnight, and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So this is called, and this is essentially the MVP. Like this is the first thing that they made. Okay. So I did name it. I call it I want to call it the viral content machine, but it's just called content machine right now. And we have a simple dashboard that has a lot of these ideas were actually by the agents, because I had them check how well it worked. Okay. And I obviously told them that, okay, this is a great document, but I still need the script, and I need like hook ideas, and I bring it together. And I said that my work as a visionary is thinking of ideas. And so if I can give you an idea, wouldn't it be cool if I had a video that had this, and then I saw this once, and then maybe we can do this. Like, you just want to riff at your own speed, at your own pace, right? That's what we all want to do. We want these things to move at our speed and our pace, because there's going to be things that you know about your industry that you can talk about like it's the back of your hand, that are pretty advanced. And this can take that, right, and transform it. Okay, so this is the dashboard that it created. And what I want to emphasize is how simple it is, and simple is good, right? Because we can all keep up with it. And I've designed software and it can get pretty crazy pretty quickly. So these ideas are stored, and I can click new idea to add a new idea. And I can just riff, right? There's a button on my keyboard that, as you guys who have the keyboard, and there's a shortcuts to it. Just Google if you're not sure how to do this. I push the button, and if I do that, a little mic will show up, and I can just talk to it, and it'll just start annotating what my idea is. And then it'll run it through the pipeline. And this is really cool. So I'll be like, I want to make a video about making great webinars about ProductiveBot and how it can help customers make more money and save time. Essentially, be 100 times more productive in minutes. And here we go. Hold on, guys. Somebody wants to join. There we go. And so here you go. So we have the filming brief. You kind of have this. You see a match rate, 40 to 49 seconds. Some of these things I did add. The original prompt that I gave, the brain dump. Hook and inspirations here. So I'm updating this to have a database of great hooks that already exist. And then so then it has, again, more parts to it. And you can just see more or less what it did, right? It's really comprehensive. And then I can, I'm going to refine this brief now. So I can actually chat with it. And then I'm like, hey, no, it looks like it missed the mark, or I really want to integrate more of this or more of that, right? So, or my team can do that. And much like Scout helps us, this is going to be conversation that we can have with this content. And then I'm going to create a research bank, so different hook types and different things. So you guys get the point, is that I literally went from this idea, from this video, all the way to tool in less than, I don't know, while I was sleeping, part of it. So I guess you can count that time, but in less than 12 hours. And there were little steps where I would get stuck. I had to go figure out how to give it's not like I do it every day. So I sometimes it takes a while to get my agent to have a Google account. I had to get my agent its own 1Password security vault. I had to figure out there are going to be little things that you guys are going to get. It's going to take a little time, but you guys have to invest that and use Scout and everything else. But once you get over that hurdle, you kind of get to the next step. And now I have this tool, and I do pause and help my agent, because this took me probably about an hour just to format it, because I wanted this to be pretty. I wanted to have ProductiveBot colors. And so I told my agent, and I'm giving you guys these little tips so you know, like, there are things that you have to do. I'm like, different things that worked for me. I'm like, I'll always tell my agents to screenshot. So kind of a little bit of a pro tip. When you're done with this, agent, screenshot it, review it, make sure it's good. Send me the screenshot. Always ask that. And then it was creating a PDF that was formatted right, but the Google Doc wasn't formatted right. Like, this was super indented and whatever else. So we did like 3 or 4 iterations, and I spent an extra 15 minutes, 20 minutes iterating that, and then I checked everything immediately. But in the grand scheme of things, I mean, this would have taken a long time to format. But the point is that it did take me a little bit of time, and now going forward, I do kind of save these little breadcrumbs on how I like things done. And I think that's what's really cool about it, is that you guys are going to save breadcrumbs. And of course, when it created this, it already knew the look and feel of ProductiveBot, right? So there is a little bit of time savings. So I think as you guys get started, these are going to be things you're going to notice that help you out. And And again, I guess kind of zooming out, today's takeaway is that you can literally create an awesome tool. Now, I'm going to give you guys some strategy in terms of how I'm thinking about it, and it may apply to you. But when I sell ProductiveBot, what I'm doing is I'm packing it with value so that the next 5 or 6 things I'm going to add to the skill store is available for you guys, right? So if you go to support and you go to skills, we now have meta ads in our skills store to help you run meta ads. You're now going to have content machine to run in the skills store, and they're going to integrate really nicely, right? And so that's kind of the cool part about, I think, what we're trying to build. And if you guys ever want to have a skill to put in the skill store, we will eventually let you guys do that. Feel free to, and certainly can make it a paid capability, and other people can buy your skills. So, but mainly we just want to make your life easier. And I probably spent, again, I'm using expensive models, so I personally probably spent a few $100 building this out, right? And so the next person doesn't have to spend that. And so as you come up with things, it's not necessarily going to be the case where somebody's like, oh, I'm just going to copy this. It's like, okay, you're going to copy all the work I did, all the nuanced things that I did, and you're going to be right where I'm at. Like, that makes no sense. I think in this world that we're moving into, like, I've invested hundreds of dollars into this, and obviously all my time is not even included in that cost. And now you get to leverage that. Like, there is efficiencies in the way this is going to happen. I don't think we have to be as scared as somebody is going to just copy it, and it's just not feasible. And the market's the market, right? And so I think you guys need to think about that if you develop any kind of cool tool that solves your own problems. Literally, you can go to a YouTube video, find the best way to do something, and build a tool within 12 hours. It's just like a crazy new world we're in. Okay, so I'm going to pause. Any questions? I'm going to take questions, and then I'm going to open up the board. I want to hear what everybody else is working on.